Have you ever noticed how a tiny fashion detail can reveal so much about a public figure? In today's video, we are going to compare how Catherine, the Princess of Wales, versus Meghan Markle wear their blazers. Specifically, how they roll up their sleeves. It's a small thing, but it says a lot. Catherine has mastered the art of relaxed formality. Whether she's visiting a hospital or attending a tennis match, she always looks pulled together, down to the last detail. Take her visit to Colchester Hospital. Perfectly folded sleeves. There was no creases, no fuss, no bunching. In other occasions, her sleeves were turned just enough to add shape, but never shoved and always styled. A sense that it was all intentional. These choices say something. Catherine is precise, she knows how to make casual still look composed, and she has intention behind her outfits. This is something that I've said a lot in fashion editions. If it doesn't look on purpose, then it looks like a mistake. You have to overtly make something look on purpose. You just have to. But let's look at the opposite side of the coin with Meghan Markle's sleeves. Notoriously terrible. Her go-to move, shoving them up hard. Structured garments that often overwhelm her because they're ill-fitting, and the sleeves shoved up. Wrinkles and bunching breaking the lines of the look, and appearing rumpled, shoved, or bunched around the elbows. While this is apparently an attempt at effortless cool, it has resulted in a messy or even rushed look, and the tailoring of the outfit gets lost altogether because of this messy disruption to the lines. And the intention behind the outfit completely vanishes. It disappears altogether. Whether in her camel coat or her black blazer, again, her sleeves are pushed up, creased, and looked rushed. It's a pattern across years. Slouchy blazers with sleeves shoved and pushed up into her elbows, often wrinkling the garment beyond recovery. Instead of looking effortless, she looks unfinished. So why do sleeves matter? Why does this matter at all? Because these tiny details shape how we perceive public figures and people in real life too. Meghan's wrinkled sleeves feed into a narrative that she's trying to look modern and effortless, but the lack of polish stands out and kind of overshadows the whole thing. Catherine, across multiple blazer looks, all look tidy and neat, prepared, poised, polished. Her consistent, clean presentation communicates, I came prepared, I know my role, and I care about how I come across. I care about how I look. These sleeve choices reflect something deeper, how the public and the media interpret their personalities. Catherine is seen as grounded, trustworthy, and detail-oriented even when she repeats outfits because they're still always tidy, intentional, neat. But Meghan's styling and Meghan's outfits come across, they are too big for her. She doesn't wear clothes that fit her properly, and thus they look unpolished, they look messy, they look overwhelming, they look silly, and definitely unprofessional. She, by contrast, is often seen as overreaching or underprepared, and clothing details like this fuel that perception that she's somewhere she doesn't belong, wearing something that doesn't belong, and not wearing it well. When you're launching a lifestyle brand or stepping into a faux leadership role, the details matter more than ever before, and Meghan continuously puts herself on the public stage. She puts herself in front of the press or on panels or on social media, and she does so in a way that looks unkempt and unprofessional, but she wants to be taken seriously? Like, it just doesn't match. It doesn't vibe, and it doesn't work. And I'm not saying people need to look like a perfectly polished corporate postcard to be taken seriously. That's not what I'm saying at all. But when you look disheveled, you're wearing clothes that are clearly too big for you, they're not hemmed properly, it just gives the sense of being an amateur, of not understanding how you come across and not understanding the value of the visual of anything at all. Whether we like it or not, we do get impressions, often our first impression of someone through visual cues. This isn't just about fashion, it's about presentation and what you're communicating with your wardrobe. And if you're trying to be taken seriously, at the very least, you need to look clean, tidy, and like you're in something that fits. It doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be stuffy or highbrow or particularly stylish. Tons of really intelligent, really skilled CEOs and successful people dress in normal casual clothes all the time. That's not the point, but it has to fit well at the very least and be clean. and tidy. And when you shove up your sleeves and you're tripping over your pants that are too long, you don't look any of those things. Catherine's style is meticulous. She gives the impression of someone who thinks through the details, who takes her public role seriously. Meghan's style, on the other hand, often tries to blend a California ease with British formality, and the result sometimes feels mismatched. A pushed-up sleeve might say, "I don't care that much," while a clean fold says, "I'm ready." These sleeve choices, funnily enough, align with how the public sees both women. One is seen as polished and dependable, while the other is seen as chaotic and sort of immature. A great recent example was the Time 100 summit. Meghan wore this blazer, but once again the sleeves were shoved aggressively up to the elbow. And because the blazer was trying to be a fitted blazer, the pushing caused it to bunch and crease in an awkward way. And in a room full of high-powered women in tailored silhouettes, this detail stood out in a bad way. It broke the outfit's polish and made it feel unfinished. Just like how when she looked like she was wearing bed sheets and a pajama top at the South by Southwest thing. The skirt was so long, it was dragging on the floor. None of it looked like it fit her well. It was so messy and too casual, but also just it wasn't the right thing for the occasion. And she was sitting there next to women who were almost all wearing blazers because they showed up to give a professional vibe. If you're going to be on stage with a microphone, for the love of God, don't wear what Meghan wears. Spaghetti straps? A flamenco dancing dress? When you're supposed to be giving a women's empowerment talk? I mean, just how out of touch can you be? Meghan is often criticized for clothes that don't fit, wrinkled fabrics, visible tags, and pushed-up sleeves that ruin the tailoring. She favors oversized and slouchy pieces a lot of the time, but they cross the line into looking unfinished, unkempt, and just way too huge. GMPs, giant man pants. That's where it came from. Because Meghan's pants are way too big for her. They just are. She looks rushed. She looks careless. It's as if she's playing dress up and didn't check the mirror. That is not the impression you want to be giving the public, no matter how much you prefer to dress that way. When you're doing something professional, you dress for the occasion. She can wear whatever the heck she wants to when she's home, but when she's doing something where she's going to be photographed or there's going to be press and it's going to be on the world stage in some capacity or in the news, she needs to dress for that. The sense of messiness contributes to a broader media narrative of Meghan being disorganized, less prepared, image-focused without refinement. It undercuts her attempts at appearing professional or powerful, especially when she's presenting herself as a leader or a brand founder, like with the Time 100 summit or with the Archewell launches. Catherine is perceived as polished and reliable. She's viewed as the epitome of royal consistency. Her clothing is always tailored, pressed, and styled with clean lines and tidy finishing touches, like rolled sleeves, neat hems, matching shoes and bags, and nothing looks ill-fitting. She re-wears outfits often, but they're restyled with thoughtfulness, giving an impression of sustainability and elegance. The press and the public praise her for looking composed, disciplined, and appropriate for any setting, whether it's a hospital visit or a formal ceremony. This polish reinforces the image of a future queen who is measured, reliable, and in tune with public expectations. These fashion choices have a real impact on public image. Meghan's pushed-up sleeves, wrinkled blazers, and frequent sizing issues feed into a larger perception that she's not only not always polished, but she's rushing things. It's almost like she doesn't prepare with enough time. Even if her intention is to have a style of casual or effortlessness, like something like that, it just comes off sloppy in these settings, especially these types of high-profile settings. And when you're positioning yourself in these types of ways, like a philanthropist, a public voice, details like a messy sleeve just send the wrong message. They just don't fit into that space. Save it for your downtime, for your days off. Catherine, by contrast, rarely, if ever, gives that type of an impression. Her tidy presentation builds trust. It says, I take this seriously, I came prepared, I'm ready to work, this is a working day, you know? In an age of constant scrutiny, polish isn't just an aesthetic, it's strategic. Thank you for joining me for today's fashion edition. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a happy day ahead. I'll see you next time. Bye!